Okay, guys, graphing inequalities in two variables. So when it comes to this part here, it's not too hard, it's not too easy. Again, I show you like the book because it gives you, you know, it expounds on the previous stuff, and again, makes you use the other stuff, you know, that you've learned before. So graph linear inequalities on the coordinate plane. So you're going to be graphing linear stuff, and you're going to solve inequalities by graphing. This does come on your STAR test, so you will have to be able to do this. So the graph of a linear inequality is a set of points that represent all of the possible solutions of the inequality. An equation defines a boundary. So if you look at this, this is the xy coordinate plane. There's a boundary right here, this line. Now this side you can say is, in this situation, is all blue. This side is all greenish. Now when it comes to that part, look at this boundary here, the line. Where does it belong to? Does it belong to the green part? Does it belong to the blue part? Just humor me. I'm going to say it belongs to the blue part because it's blue line. Okay? So the boundary, this line is included for the blue. This boundary is not included for the green. Okay? Can it go to both sides? Not really. It has to go to one side. Okay? An equation defines the boundary again. So that's my equation in half. And in which divides the coordinate plane into two halves. Now, usually, you guys, you need to look at this. This is like a line. We always draw a line. When it comes to our inequalities, remember it's open circle or closed circle, included or not included. The boundary may or may not be included in the solution. When it's included, the solution is a closed. So when it's included, and the other one, get my writing stuff. Remember when we did the inequalities and we had like this or like this? We had an open line and it went like that or like that for this stuff. That's, okay, the open, not included. When it's included, we have this, right? For this, the greater than or equal or less than equal. For this, we always had this shaded in, and then we had the line going that way or that way. Well, for this stuff here, when we draw the line here, it's going to be a solid line if it's included. If it's included, solid line. Now, it can go in any direction, right? When it's not included, it's going to be a dotted line, a broken line. Now, it gives us still the illusion that there's a line there, but it's going to be not included, okay? So this still holds true. This right here, it's included, solid line, dashed line right here when it's not included. Again, copy that down real quick, make sure you know that. I want to do this much real quick. When I graph this one from the very beginning, I notice that it's going to be a dotted line. It's not greater than or less than or equal sign. It's going to be what? Just greater than or less than. It's not equal to. So this part right here, I'm going to look at that dotted line and I finally graph it. The way you graph this one, guys, always do me a favor and go back to the y equals mx plus b. Always. I don't know how to tell you this much. I told you at the beginning of the year that that's going to be the one that we use mostly throughout the whole year. So we're going to come out here and solve the thing for y. And when we put it in y, look what it looks like. Y equals mx plus b. My m is my slope. My b is my y-intercept. My b, look how I write the b. It's the first thing I do and it comes out once. First thing and happens once. Here, my slope happens over and over my m. Okay? So now we're going to come out here and just work from there. This is the one given to me. I solve for y at minus 3x. C minus 3x over here on this side. Now, this one's going to be negative y. We don't ever want a negative y. So we divide by a negative slash. This one becomes positive. This becomes positive, becomes negative. And remember, when we divide or multiply by a negative, the inequality sign switches. So there it is. So what you would do now, graph this line. Graph this line. What do you mean graph the line? I would graph y equals 3x minus 2. I would go to my b first, negative 2, 1, 2, put my point there. Do my slope of 3 over 1. I would go up 1, 2, 3, over 1, put my other point there. Now, this is the thing. What kind of line do I have here? This line here is dotted. So then I would do a dotted line. Okay. Now, they're going to tell you to test a point. I'm not going to tell you to test a point. Look at this. What is this saying right here? What does this say? It says y is greater. What does it mean y is greater? It says the y values are greater than this line. Okay, so now what do you mean, sir? I'm lost. Okay. When it comes to this inequality sign, remember there's this top half, and there's this bottom half. And my answer is going to be shading. I want to shade the side of the line that satisfies this. Look what it says. The y's are greater. So I'm going to come out here, not looking at strictly the y values. Are the y's greater on top? Are the y's greater on the bottom? Pay attention. This is a -2. -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. You see how these y values are greater? That's what it says. Y's are greater. So I would shade the top. There it is. I'm shading the top when I do these lines. I'm going to tell you this much real quick. If you think about these are smaller, so I don't want the ones that are smaller. That's why this side is not the answer side. So if you were to do this on your paper, this is what it looks like. 1, 2, down here. All right, that's that one. Up, 1, 2, 3, over 1. Draw my dotted line through these points. And then just go out here and shade this way like that. And that, to me, is the same thing. Going once, going twice, what do y'all think? Not too bad? Okay, so let's go ahead and graph these real quick. If you don't mind, I'll do 1A. Okay, so remember what I told you right now? Put it in the y equals mx plus b form. This is your slope. This is your y-intercept right here. So look, it's already like that for me. It's already like that. So I'm going to go ahead and say, man, what's my slope? My slope right there, m. What's my y-intercept? Right there, right? My b. So I'm going to draw a cheapy graph. I'm going to go to 3. 1, 2, 3. Put my first point there. My slope of 1/2. You see that? So if I'm right here, I'm going to go with the m to be 1 over 2, which is rise over run. So I'm going to rise 1 and 1, 2 to the right. Put my other point there. Now, look at this one, guys. That is not included. There's no equal sign. So that's going to be a dotted line. So now I draw a dotted line through here, or dashed. That's my boundary. Now look what this says here. Look what this says here. That says y is greater. The reason I say it's greater because I'm eating that side. You don't want to eat the bigger side. So once the y values that are bigger, look at this. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 4. The y values are greater on top. So I'm going to shade this right here. And there you're done. Boom. Okay, let's go and look at this real quick now. I'll change color. I'll go to red. Again, I want to put that one in the y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to solve for y here. But if you look at this, it's already solved for y. So I'm just going to rewrite it. Y, keep this the same way, x minus 1. You see how it's eating the, I guess, the equation side? I'm going to do that side. Okay. And I just rewrote it. You don't mind? Pretty easy, right? So my m in this one is 1. My b in this one's a -1. So I'm going to draw it real quick. My y-intercept, this one first, guys. The y-intercept goes first, so I'll go down to a -1, put my point there. My slope here, my slope, remember that, is rise over run. So I have in this situation here a 1. So that is a 1 over a 1. I'm going to rise 1. I'm going to run 1. So from here, I rise 1 up. I go 1 up. And now I run 1 to the right. And I put my point there. Now, look at this inequality sign. Look at this inequality sign. It says y is less than. Okay, so I'm going to draw this line right here, dotted because it's not included. And since it's less than, I'm looking at these values here. This is like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how those numbers are greater than this negative 1? They're less down here. I shade it in. I shade this side in. Not too bad. Okay, so we're going to basically come out here. Now graph with the included, the less than or less than or equal or greater than or equal. Same concept, same everything. We get this inequality. We want to go ahead and solve for y. So that y, we're going to get it by subtracting that x and then dividing by 5. Subtract the x, divide by 5. And there's my inequality. So there's my inequality. We're going to treat it like this equation. Now, when I graph this one right here, there's the graph for it right there. I'm going to come out here. I'll do it here. M is equal to a negative 1/5. My y-intercept is a 2. So I'm going to go up to the 2. From here, I go up 1, 2, put my point there. Okay, that's that one. That's that one right there. This one right here, I'm going to do rise over run. I'm going to rise a negative 1, so I'm going to go down 1 from here. And I'm going to go 5 to the right. So I'm going to go down 1, then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put my other point there. Now, this one here, guys, if you look at this, is what? Solid. It's included. See that equal sign? So I draw a straight line now, not a dotted line. I am not doing a dotted line. Nope. A solid line, basically. Okay, straight line, a dotted line. And there it goes. Now, this one says y is less than or equal. Less than. This is less. So this is a, what, 2. I'm going to go down, negative 1. 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative. See, all of these are less than. I would shade this. The line is included. And there's your answer. Going once, going twice? Not too bad, right? Okay, we're going to try these two real quick. Again, I'm giving this one and this one here. We want to, in my opinion, I always treat it as y is equal to mx plus b. Slope-intercept form. I want to get the y by itself, so I would here in this situation minus x from both sides. Cancel out here, and I get negative y is less than or equal to a negative x plus 3. Okay, I don't ever want a negative, so I'm going to just say I'm going to multiply the whole thing by a negative 1. I'll switch it up each time so you can just see it's the same thing. So this one gives me a positive y. This inequality now switches over. Don't forget that. This becomes from a negative to a positive x, from a positive to a negative 3. And I graph this one. Okay, this is my m right here. This is my b. My m, b. The b here, m is equal to 1. B is equal to a negative 3. So I'm going to go down to a negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Put my point there. My slope now is going to be 1 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1, right 1. Up 1, over 1. Put my point there. Inequality sign is a solid line because it has an equal. Solid. because of the equal sign. So I'll draw, oops, I'm going to draw straight. I'm going to draw a solid line going through here. Now look what this says. This thing says y is greater than. You see how it's eating it? This is greater than. So I shade on top. There's that one. Let's try this one over here. They're all basically the same, guys, over and over and over again. Let's look at this one. Again, I want to get it to y is equal to mx plus b. And let me go ahead and take this off. I'll do it in blue. Okay, when it comes to this part real quick, again, I want the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 2x. The reason I get rid of 2x, some of y'all still don't know why. I kind of, well, I don't get it. Hey, I forgot. This is 2b or not to be, guys. And that is the question. Okay, my bad. Total bad. Too late. Too way late. Okay, so I have this side of this inequality, right? There's two terms here. One term, two terms. I want that y term by itself, so I'm going to put the opposite of this one. Okay, and I have to do it to this side. I better do it to the other side to keep the equalness there. What was given to me, that relationship. I want to keep that relationship there. So I'm going to go with 3y now is greater than or equal to, I'm going to put the 2x negative first plus 18. I want to go in here and get the 1y. So I'm going to, multiplication, I'm going to divide by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. These cancel out, giving me y is greater than or equal to, this is a negative 2/3 x plus 6. Now I'm going to graph that one. Plus 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a rise. My m in this situation, m is equal to a negative 2 over 3. I'm going to go down. Since it's negative, I'm going down from that point. Positive to the right. Go down 1, 2. See, I went down 1, 2. Go down 1, 2, and then over 1, 2, 3. Put my point there, and draw my line going through it. Now, solid line because of the equal sign. Because of this part right here, guys. Because of that, it's a solid line. Okay. Next thing is, you see how this says y, and the y is being eaten means greater. Where are my y values greater? On top. And there it is. You have an Alex assignment. Get busy on it.